What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you exactly how I trim my own hair at home. This is not something I do very often, but every once in a while when I need a trim like I do, as you can see here, and I really don't have the time to go to the salon and get it done, I do just trim my own hair at home. I'm going to go ahead and give you a disclaimer and tell you don't try this at home, and if you do, it is on you, not me. I'm not a professional, but this is just what I like to do to my own hair. I use regular hair cutting shears, a brush, and a comb. That's all I need to do this at home. That rhymed and I didn't even mean to. And FYI, I normally do this cut on my hair when my hair is wet, but since my hair was already straight from my last video, I decided to go ahead and just cut it dry since it was already straight. So this is the back of my hair. The first step is to split your hair into two halves. This is what I do. And the goal here is to make sure to really hold the hair very, very taut. And doing that just ensures that you get a more precise cut. So then I just look and see exactly how much needs to come off. I only needed to trim about a half an inch, maybe an inch off of the bottom. And this is just to make sure that the ends are nice and healthy. And you can see right here already, that side looks much healthier and thicker at the bottom, just cutting away those dead ends. Now we want to match the length on the opposite side. So again, holding the hair very, very taut and trimming away just what is needed. And of course, you want to match it up and make sure that it is even on both sides. So after you are done trimming, you're going to measure and just make sure that it is the same length. So I basically hold a piece on each side and just make sure that it ends right about the same area. Now I'm going to do the scary part, which is putting in the layers. My layers have grown out almost completely, so I really wanted to add back in some layers to give my hair some bounce and some volume. So I start at the crown of my head and I take a small sliver of a section, and basically this is going to be my guideline. This is where, I know this looks really, really scary, but this is where my guideline is going to be. So I am putting in long layers. So I'm using that guideline and then adding a little more hair and pulling it directly out from the scalp where it grows, and then trying to measure and see where exactly I need to cut according to the guideline. And so I just continue to do that, pulling the hair out straight from where it is growing out of the scalp and checking to see where I need to trim and using that first piece as my guideline. And I continue to do that all the way down to the bottom. And then I'll move on to the next section and do the same exact thing. Obviously, you're going to be picking up a little bit of that first section so that you have a little bit of that guideline in there. And then, you know, pretty much through this process, I have done it so many times that I can eyeball it and figure out exactly what I'm doing. If you do not feel comfortable doing this, then I would highly recommend you not doing this and going to a professional. Obviously, they know what they're doing and they can get it much, much more precise. But since I have curly hair, it kind of hides any, anything that's not completely even. Plus, I'm so used to getting a diva cut, which is very, very uneven because it's based on your curl pattern. Or how your curls fall. So to me, I know that it's going to look okay in the end, but if you don't feel comfortable doing this, I'm just forewarning you, don't do it. Or maybe you can just trim the bottom and not do the layers. Now I'm moving on to the other side. Again, each section, I'm just picking up a little bit of that first section as my guideline and then continuing to put in the layers the same way I did on that whole first section. This side is a little more difficult because it's just an awkward angle that I'm having to cut at, but I've done it enough that I just can kind of feel my way through it and figure out exactly what needs to come off. And of course, we're again going to measure and make sure that it is even on both sides. So once you've trimmed everything, brush the hair out, and then I start to run my fingers through and make sure that my layers are kind of ending at the same spot. And this looks good to me. It feels good. It feels healthier. And now I'm ready to wash my hair and then see what it looks like once it's curly. So here we go. This is the cut with it curly. It turned out perfectly. It turned out exactly how I wanted it to turn out. I've got a lot more layers, a lot more volume. It's way bouncier. Those dead ends are cut off and it just feels healthier. And this is just a great way for me to, save a little bit of time, save a little bit of money, and, do this at home. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.